don't want to answer the phone, honey. It's about to be smoke in the city, bitch. Let him not answer this phone. Let my sugar daddy not answer this phone, honey. And y'all gonna see a tussle on live tonight, honey. Let my sugar daddy not answer this phone. Y'all gonna see a tussle on live tonight. Flex Jones. He on this app. He on my page. Flex ain't answering his phone for me. Flex, you better not pop up in this. Let my sugar daddy pop up in this live. Hey sis, what you doing? My sugar daddy don't want to answer for me. It's gonna. He just called me. You know a motherfucker is crazy as hell when they call you and you call them back and they don't answer.
Oh,
That is a red flag for psychosis, bitch.
oh, dude. How you doing, friend?
You heard it from a motherfucking professional, bitch. They psychotic, honey. What's going on, sis? Long time, long
I
time.
know. How you doing? Hey,
Good.
Susan.
It sounds like you in the bed laid up with a pig.
I wish. I wish. I truly do. Look, don't get me started.
Don't get you started. Go ahead and get started. Sis, what's going on?
Man, nothing. I ain't doing nothing.
You said
Nothing's going on. You know, I'm just out here. I'm just out here living the life. I'm just out here chilling.
you living your life like it's golden.
Right, period.
Yes, honey. I'm living my life like it is silver plated, bitch, honey.
Not, not silver plated, please.
I can, sis, I can only do what I can afford, bitch,
I
honey.
understand.
Yeah,
I feel
put my
that.
fucking EBT, bitch, and they put me below the poverty line.
Oh, not below the poverty line.
Girl.
I mean, you can make something shake below the poverty line though.
Luckily, I still can make a few things shake, bitch, and that's how I'm going to make it through the mud, girl.
Period.
Okay,
Period.
you know,
Period.
bitch, shake and bake, honey, heat it up. What's been going on? What have I missed, honey?
You ain't missing nothing. Not, girl, child, I barely been making content. I don't be feeling it. I don't be feeling it. I barely been making content. I think I'm gonna start making some because it's getting close to my birthday. So I guess mm, I'm
Why
gonna
you
get back
start?
in the swing. I had the feeling. I ain't been wanting to. Plus, I just be feeling like a lot of times the stuff I be saying be redundant as fuck. So I just be like, girl, I'm gonna let the girls have it. Um,
Ditto. That's exactly
I be
why.
tired of.
That's exactly
I be
why I started telling the other girls' stories and just doing the documentary style content. I honestly think that I'm going to end up transitioning into being an interviewer.
that. I see that for you. I see that for you. Hey, Haven. Hey, honey. Hey, Mo.
But so you haven't been feeling inspired to get on here. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I I'm always inspired to make the fucking content, bitch, because I'm a creative. Sometimes I get anxiety because I feel like it ain't enough hours in the day to put out the motherfucking content. I can relate to feeling redundant. That's why I said, I'm transitioning. Um, but why haven't you been feeling inspired? You ain't depressed or nothing, are you?
No. It's not that. I just ain't been feeling like, I make so much queer content, and sometimes I be feeling like I be saying the same shit to the same motherfuckers. And I just be like, um, so I just been kind of just chilling.
I
Kind
mean,
of just chilling.
remember though is that regardless of if we hear do you mean all right, first of all, let me get clarity. Do you mean like you be seeing like all of us be talking about the same topics?
No, so I do feel like that sometimes too. Like I feel like we all be kind of talking about the same thing, and I be like, well, I don't feel like I don't feel like repeating myself. Um, or I don't feel like repeating something that another girl has said. Like it'd be like, look, she didn't said it, she didn't said it, she didn't said it. I don't need to say it. And a lot of us have the same followers, so I just kind of feel like it's okay.
You you could say
Um,
you could say it on the live. A lot of us could communicate outside of content and have the same
no, and I mean we
on a
do.
lot of
A lot
stuff.
of us communicate outside of content. I mean, because the people I kick it with is the people I kick it with. My sisters is my sisters. They know who they are. And yeah, like I feel like we all kind of make not, I feel like we all either make, we either make, commentary or we make beauty content. So it's it is what it is.
I do
I just
want
be kind of
to do those things because some even though it might seem redundant to us, and even though like for example, me and you make a lot of when we speak on the same subjects, we tend to be saying the same thing in a different way. Well,
yeah,
it matters saying things in a different way because we all put our own little sparkle and shine on it.
mm,
We all say things without even verbalizing them, and the people who fuck with us and support our content, they be wanting to hear your perspective. And I know for me it got draining emotionally, always talking about the negative stuff that's going on, but we like to combat the negative.
right.
So I just do it all on my lives on YouTube. I pick one
Mm,
night to really be in my bag, one night a week to be in my bag and to talk about everything. And if you really fuck with me and you really want my perspective, then on certain things to go over there and get it. If I feel like it's a really hot take or if it's a kiki, then bitch, I bring it over here. But I
mm.
I be paying them.
I feel that. I don't know. I just been like, even though I have been wanting to say some things, because I've been wanting to talk about this Dylan girl. Um,
Miss Dillon, who Hope just read.
yeah, yeah.
Did you see Hope read?
Okay, so okay, so let me tell you. So I love me some Hope, right? Like I love Hope. I love Hope Giselle. But I also feel like Hope Giselle picks and chooses when she wanna like call bitches out. Like she pick and choose when she wanna like Bree, don't do that. I feel like she pick and choose when she really like wanna like get at people ass and then like when she don't really like when she like cool with somebody like the whole Tokyo thing, and she was calling that trans girl out, and the Hope Giselle was like, "Well, I'm just glad we came to understand it." And I'm like,
I'm gonna tell you what I noticed. Um, I feel like Hope Giselle, and shout out to Hope Giselle. I love you, sis. If you see this live or if it gets back to you, um, I feel like she's a covert black supremacist. Like if when black people do something, oh no, our culture is different. No, when white people do something, burn that bitch at the stake. Salem, she want to bring Salem back, bitch.
right, and that's fair. But I get that, and I'm not saying that she's required to burn everybody at the stake. But it just be like certain stuff. I just be like, well, now why she get a pass? Because because me personally, I be like, why? Because honestly, and I'm gonna be totally honest. I always say, black folk, whether queer or not, it's two something totally different things. And I don't really fuck with white queers like that for real, to be
I
honest. So,
say you don't fuck
um,
black. You say you don't fuck with black queers.
no, I don't fuck with white queers like that, to be honest.
Oh.
Mm.
And see, I think with Hope, it's gonna be a disconnect with it's gonna be a disconnect with with your
Not
power,
Salem is outrageous.
with your persona, because bitch, you're a overt black supremacist. You know,
Oh yes, no. I always say desegregation was the worst thing that ever happened to black people. But uh,
bitch, what you said? What you said? Send it back to the barn, bitch.
yeah, I always say I could have lived my entire life without talking to a white person. I would have been just fine.
Live my life like it's golden. Girl, honey, you know, I'm trying to break in the mainstream, bitch.
But yeah, like I say that all the time. But see, you okay? So we also have to understand, like my perspective. I come from my parents in their 70s. So and my parents, they grew up during the Panther age. So like my perspective on like race and just things. I just be like, my mother's a teacher, so I just be like. I
Hmm.
mean, like Black studies was regular history for me.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's just like I be like, girl, white people, that's crazy. Uh,
Hope, you know what? If Hope Giselle come out, it was somebody recently who was just like, was it Hope who said that about Dylan? But was it Hope who said something about Dylan being or the white voices or something?
so basically, she was just saying like because Dylan went on this whole, which also inspired me to do something because I'm she's low key single now. And so, but Dylan went on this whole 100 days of girlhood. Like she went on this whole I'm gonna take you on my journey of being 100 days or 100 days of me, going through this
My
transition.
daddy call it
And
back. My sugar daddy.
but I'm hollering, please.
Oh, he hung up.
Not he hung up. I'm hollering.
I think he don't know how to work his phone.
How old is this sugar daddy?
It's Flex. Do you know Flex? Flex, you.
Uh-uh.
Uh, he not really my sugar daddy, bitch.
Oh, okay. I look, because I was just saying, little girl, tell me something. Okay, tell me something good.
Yes, honey. I told him you was my sugar daddy, honey.
Um,
He said he'll send some sugar to me, but he's a sweet and love.
we take that too. Hmm.
Trans Goddess said, "Hey, Flex. I'm gonna call you when I get off the live. I'm gonna be on here about another 20 minutes if you're still up. I think we did too, but we going to discuss it. We
Okay.
vote in our greatness together."
Okay, Mom. A win is a win.
Did you hear Sugar Daddy say bye bye?
Bye.
But yes, honey. We had a good live tonight on Instagram. It's a child who comes in my lives regularly on Instagram, and they're going through the whole coming out and questioning their transness and all of the things. But let's get back to what you were saying. You were saying that that she went off on Dylan. Hope went off on Dylan about the whole um
because because it's not a because it's not a real. I mean, it's a form of girlhood, but it's not even like a real like perspective on girlhood. Like it's like this candy coated, made for television
ain't no
kind of way of going.
ain't no trans girls in real life wondering whether or not
Right.
they should tuck publicly.
Um. And me as me, I'm not a trans woman. I identify as trans femme, but not really not as a trans woman because I don't really fall into the. I don't feel like I fall into the binary, but I do feel more comfortable being feminine. Like that is my comfort area. Um, and so even in that, I was just like, girl, bitch, this is crazy. Um, and I was like, well, hey Travis. And I was like, well, shit, bitch, I'm single. She's single again, back on the prowl. So,
Let's detour and
um,
let's detour into that bitch because when I asked you was anything new, honey, that was supposed to have been what came up.
was it? Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
but I was like, well, sis, I was like, if Dylan can talk about 100 days of girlhood, I can talk about 100 days of being a single trans black femme. I can do that. Somebody can talk about that. Um, and so I've decided I may, I may be doing that, giving y'all the tea on my personal life, a little bit too much information, but it's social media. We all tell too much about business on social media
How
anyway.
long have you been? How long have you been single now?
It's only been a couple months. It hasn't been long.
And how
Um,
y'all together?
um, so we weren't officially together. We were dating exclusively. But it was a year. It had been a year, and yeah.
That's the real reason you
Uh,
want to come on my show, bitch. Uh,
um. So yeah. I was just like, oh, okay.
so what was the cause for the breakdown?
So, we were just he didn't want to do the long distance anymore. Um, he was because like we at the time we lived 3 hours away from each other. And then I just got a job working for Pride Houston, which will eventually, even though I'm not in Houston yet, it'll eventually take me to Houston. And then he was trying to get a job here where I live in Florida. And it just didn't work out. But they offered him a job in a state, you know, in a different state, and so he was considering taking it. And so it was just kind of like the logical decision for us to part ways before feelings got too hurt. And so, but I was, there were some people that can tell you, bitch was devastated.
That's, that's I was
um,
that's what I was about to say. No shade. It don't sound like feelings didn't get hurt.
No, no, they did not. I definitely was definitely shut up, Lavender. Um, so, yeah, because she was one of the people that knew all about it, cried on the phone, all of that, all of this shit. But I'm good now. Um, I have been, dating here and there. So, everybody, once you got a favorite nigga. Um,
I
well, I
mean,
know how. Yeah,
hey, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. It don't sound like it was just a favorite nigga. It sounded like y'all might have been each other's favorite, and it was just timing and location fucked it up.
right. So I've since then I have decided that I was just gonna, date here and there and just kind of do whatever. So yeah, that's
But
what I kind of been doing.
I'm sorry to hear that, sis, because honey, I know how hard it is to come across not only somebody who you genuinely like, but somebody who you genuinely connect with as well.
Right. And it's also, with being trans, it's also it's a challenge. Um, so especially now that I'm like openly saying it, it's been a challenge. Most people just like most dudes treated me like, I was the girl, but like when you say, yeah, no, I actually am, it's a totally different dynamic. So that also played a factor into why I was so okay. Like it went so well because I was telling him, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna start doing this and I'm gonna start doing that," and he was very supportive. He was like, "Oh okay," like, and it was just like, "Oh okay," so like fucking with this nigga, man. Yeah. So
I want to know what he was given. I want to you know what I give, bitch. I want to see him in my head because I know you didn't post his ass.
I did, but he was always in my story. He never made it to like the main page. But dark skin, a little bit about my height, heavy set, beard, fade. I like fat niggas. So yeah,
How
that's what it was. You
how
said what?
how old are
How old he was 32.
oh, okay.
Mm.
That's not too much older. I know you like a zaddy.
Oh yeah, no. If you come over here 50, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay. Well, hello. I like a little AARP too.
Okay.
Yes. Uh,
Okay. Can you add me to your art, bitch? Okay.
right. I mean, I've dated. The oldest I have dated is 58. And that's now. But my ex that a few years back is 25 years older than me. But I have dated almost a man and his the man that was almost 60.
Mm, mm.
Oh
Baby,
yeah, I
honey,
don't discriminate. If the dick work, I don't discriminate, and the dick be working. So
baby. If
uh,
it worked naturally, if you got a good medication regimen that makes it work, baby, I'm here for it, honey. I'm here for it. So you said that you are back dating or you're considering it.
no, I am back dating. I am back dating.
How's it going?
It's cool. It's cool. I'm just being pretty. Hey.
How do you date? Because I genuinely need help. My only experience dating is is through the acts or through the ballroom scene.
So the men that I have met have all been kind of through social media.
Your volume drop. We
Hold on.
can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. Okay. So most of the men that I have dated, I've only met a couple people like in real life. The guy that I most recently broke up with, I met him in real life because I met him through a friend. And then my first boyfriend, I met him because we met in college. But every other man that I have kind of dated and or we met through social media. Um, I've met other guys through friends before though. But like most of the men that I've dated, I've kind of come across me via social media. Um,
Say social media, do you mean dating apps or do you mean like
no,
the
like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, like that. Um, so Um, so yeah, it's been cool. But I've always set the expectation. Hey, Telly. I've always set the expectation. She's, she's expensive. She's high maintenance. Um, I,
oh you one of
Yeah, like
those.
I'm not. I've never been like one of those girls that's gonna be like, oh yeah, you just gonna do whatever. You just gonna come over here and be whatever. I'm not money and everything, but don't come over here broke. Um. So yeah, and I'm also one of those people because once again, I come from parents of a certain age. Like you can't do like if you can't do like what I got a man around for if he can't do nothing like. I just don't understand. um. So yeah. So I don't consider myself like a gold digger, but I do consider myself. I have a standard. I don't. I have a standard, and I don't really plan on like coming off that standard. Also because, and I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, she just out here. No, no, no. I spoil myself. I'm spoiled, but I will spoil myself. You don't do it. Either I'm gonna do it or somebody else gonna do it. So uh, So it is what it is. Um, thank you, Dante. But yeah, child, pain.
Interesting. Say so. You tend to So do you tend to get what you're looking for, right? You tend to date guys who are doing well financially.
Yeah.
How y'all
I don't.
doing?
I mean, hey, Dante.
What's going
Um,
on?
I don't really. I don't really deal with too many. Like, you gotta at least have a job. You have to have a job. You have to have a job. And you have to have a plan. You can't just be coming into me. You can't just come up to me talking about, oh, well, we just kind of rocking out with our cock out. That's crazy. Cause I'm gonna be like, baby, I have goals for myself. I have a plan for myself. And while I may not, I may not have the best of the best, I do well enough for myself that I don't have to ask nobody for nothing. And I do pretty good. I do pretty good, pretty well of taking care of myself. So, um, mm, so I don't expect anything less from you on your end.
Can I
Hey man.
can can I make a confession to y'all? I That is something that I'm starting to realize now. Now that I'm setting, now that I'm dating more healthy and I'm learning more about who I am and what I need versus what I want versus what I'm comfortable with. That's something that I'm struggling with. I tend to feel intimidated when a man does as does better than me financially. When a man is doing well financially, it tends to scare me.
Do it, cause I don't be
Why?
caring. Cause I be like, oh yeah, come.
Go ahead,
I,
Well,
Dante.
first thing I want to say is both y'all look beautiful as can be. That's number one. Number two, I'm just being real. Even if a man is doing better than you financially, that should not intimidate you. Um, I always look at it from the standpoint of, say, if I meet somebody, and they are better off than me. I use that as motivation because I'm like, okay, you're doing better than me. Show me how you did it. Show me, you may be able to show me some skills or some lessons along the way that I didn't get, and I can apply them to my own life to, push myself further, if that
Mhm.
make any sense.
No, it makes all the sense in the world because that is honestly how I navigate my life with my friends. Like you see, like even with y'all, I gravitate toward people who are doing things that I'm doing or doing things that I want to do. Like when I first started following y'all and interacting with y'all, I didn't have as many followers as y'all. I was trying to figure out how to get there. You know what I mean? Because I wanted my voice heard, especially with all this crazy bullshit on the internet. And so I completely get that. And that's how I approach friendships. But when it comes to romance, when it comes to dating, when it comes to potential relationships, um, it scares me. And of course, I thought about it. And for me, it's a thing where, for one, I'm very insecure. I appear more confident than I really am. Um, So the first thought is when a man who's well off, because in this society, a woman's beauty tends to be her currency, and a man's finance is his.
Mm.
And when a man is doing well financially, I'd be like, first thought is, what the fuck he want with me? He could have essentially anybody, or at least any type. So why?
right. No, I don't know. I know for me, I think I've always kind of played to that because I know, yeah, you might have some money, but I'm probably smarter than you. Uh, oh,
Okay.
so like so yeah, like, and I've always played up to my strengths. Me being attractive has always been a thing that I played up to. Like, it's like, okay, well, like, cause I just feel like if I'm gonna sit, and I'm not, and it's no shade, but I just feel like if you attracted, you been coming over here because you think I'm fine. Oh, we gonna play up this. We gonna play this up. We gonna we gonna we gonna ride this out till we can't ride it out no more. And I kind of that's just kind of how I've been. Like it's just like okay, so they find me attractive. Let's do this. So let's just do the things.
I'm
Let's
there.
ride.
And see, this is why, like I was saying earlier before you came up here, Dante, I was reminding Harry of why her voice matters. And this is why your voice matters, because what you said, I'm sure you didn't consider it to mean shit when you said it. But to me, you helped just now, just in you saying that, you helped me to have a whole epiphany. Like I realized why I feel inferior and why I'm insecure. And it's because I have imposter syndrome regarding being a pretty girl. I feel like pretty girl is a role that I know how to play, but it's not genuinely who I am.
You know,
But you are very beautiful.
And it's crazy because you know,
it's because and I always just say and I always say this to girls that do ballroom. Is it because you do ballroom so often that you find yourself playing a role of pretty versus actually feeling that you are? Because you're always, because see, I'm not, while I did, most of the categories that I did when I was in ballroom were runway categories. I wasn't a big Vogue girl, even though I could dance. Vogue was not my, like, I was like, girl, I'm not about to, y'all be out here. Um, basically about to take each other's head off. I'm okay. It's okay. It's all right. I don't feel like it. I'm tired. I,
It's somebody else to do it.
I might have did a couple. I might have did a realness category every now and then. But most of the category, I was doing runway. I was like, oh girl, you want to walk? Oh, you want to stretch? Let's go. Uh, you want to put on a costume and walk around the room? Yeah, we can do that.
I think
So,
I feel like we all fight that insecurity though. Like we all have something. No matter like some of us are better, better at hiding it than others. But we all have an insecurity. You know what I mean? Like people see me and they're like, "Oh, you always just so confident and you so outspoken and this that." I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Image wise, very, very, very self conscious. Um, and honestly, small town country boy, I've learned a lot from y'all, but it's a lot that I don't know. And I, how can I say this? I have found myself very much so intimidated, especially when it comes to the physical aspect, you know. And I think that's why, like, I let my personality lead first. Cause I'm like, I know I got a killer personality. I'm cool as can be, but I'm like, when it comes to, especially, in the gay world, I am not quintessentially what people look for. I mean, it just is
oh,
what it
who
is.
gay world? Because I
But
keep
I'm
telling
saying,
y'all
but I'm
this.
saying,
I be
no, no,
having
no, no,
folks
no.
in the
Hear me
gay
out.
world.
Hear me out. Hear me out. The whole thickness thing just really started being cool with people. Like at first, it was seriously. Come on, if you wasn't either a slim thick or if you were not muscle bound, like that is what
Harry,
everybody was focused on.
Harry might be too young to remember those days, Dante, because you know that it's like the community did a 360 overnight.
Right.
But okay, so I'll put it like this because she been a part of the Black bear community since 2013. Anyway, so yeah, I was liking Fat Boys before Fat Boys was like a real. But I will say that I be feeling like when people be like, oh, well, y'all don't like y'all don't like, fat niggas. And I be like, but black gay boys love fat niggas. I was like, but that could be. I was like, and black gay boys love men with regular bodies. I was like, it's not even. You don't necessarily even have to be fat. I was like, but black gay boys like men with just average bodies. I was like, and it's not even. And I feel like for black men, the average body is not necessarily a twink. It's just not. Now if you fall more feminine, the thinner we get, or the more slim thick, is like more of a thing. But I was like, but just for like either the average black gay man or a more masculine black gay man, Being fat ain't really y'all don't have that issue. At least not to me. Not the perspective that I come from, but I also come from a very my perspective also comes from a very feminine perspective. Also, I come from because I've been in the black bear community for so long. You being fat ain't really been an issue. Like you being fat ain't an issue. But I can see as to why other people would feel that is not the case.
Um,
Right.
I would say being a little bit older than you and growing up in the '90s, I would I would say that commercial aesthetics and conventional beauty definitely changed between the '90s and 2010. Um, and I know during the era where me and Dante grew up, not only was it a thing in the gay community, but we were consistently bombarded with with images that fat people were either the funny friend or non-existent or the joke.
Facts.
If you weren't
Facts.
if you didn't volunteer to be funny, we were going to volunteer you. Um, and I remember coming into I remember even just seeing on dating apps now. One of the most common things when I was coming up and when gay dating apps first became a thing, every other profile, ev 2 out of 3 profiles said no fats, no femmes. And regardless of what that person may have meant by fat, regardless of what their beauty standard was, it wasn't clarified. If I was told in my neighborhood that I was fat, if I was told growing up that I was fat, if I'm told in my family that I'm fat, when you say no fats, you talk about me, regardless of whether you consider me thick, fat, or medium build.
Right.
You know, so I get that, and it was definitely. I remember before there wasn't as much regular looking people who were openly gay. There weren't as much regular looking men who were openly gay.
Right.
The regular looking guys, that was the uncle that had the roommate in the one bedroom for for 20
30
years.
years.
You know what
Not for 20
I mean?
years.
No, seriously. It's a thing. You got
Yeah.
some right now, they've been roommates for 30 and 40 years, and everybody know, but they will not say it out loud. We are roommates. We are friends.
Oh,
And it
y'all know I hate a best. Y'all know I hate a best friend gay couple. Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much.
mm,
Um,
I'm gonna say something that
But you know, for some people, that's all they know.
I don't. I hate to give this bitch the credit, but I gotta give her her roses where it's due. I gotta give a shout out to Tyra Banks because her and that show Top Model, it really did help to change aesthetics because the show became so popular and she made sure that every season she touched on unconventional beauty.
Right.
It
but we
became
also have to realize that Tyra was also unhinged. She was doing a lot of. She was doing fuck shit too.
what
Uh,
we speaking of past tense.
A mess.
I mean, no, because Tyra Banks is unhinged. Tyra Banks is unhinged. She's an unhinged woman. But because she was also doing blackface. She did 3 seasons. She did 3 different blackface challenges. So you know,
Whoa. I never watched the show. I ain't know she did that.
You see who she married to, don't you?
who's she married to? I didn't know
You
she
know,
was married.
ain't she still married to that white man? I ain't heard they got no divorce.
I ain't know she was ever married.
Yeah, I didn't know she was ever married.
Married and has a child. Where have y'all been?
I
I
knew
don't really
about the
keep up with
baby. I knew
celebrities,
about the
baby.
little boy. I knew about the little boy. I definitely knew about the little boy. I did not know about her husband.
Yep, dark priest said it. White man, she's still with the white man.
And I just stay with the white man. Lord have mercy.
I'm gonna be real though. Like with the whole when the whole dating app thing got started, like I'm gonna be honest, I am still confused on when it became okay. You know, like with me, I'd be surprised at half the people that try and talk to me. I'll be like, what? Say who to what? Me? You talking about me? You not nobody behind me, next to me. You talking about me?
It was the right.
And
It was the rise in T Pain because T Pain is still daddy. Sparky is my baby. Sparky is my baby father.
I,
um,
I
Oh,
I give Top Model credit because I feel like after Top Model, that's when we started having these public conversations, and the internet too, the internet and people being able to create their own celebrity and build their own brands. But
Right.
I think Top Model made a lot of us have the conversation because that was like the fashion industry had like the hardest beauty standards and still do have the hardest beauty standards, right? So if it's like the people with the hardest beauty standards are coming up off that shit, then how the fuck can us regular people talk? How the hell can we talk about conventional beauty against people who are getting paid to be beautiful?
Hmm.
Right. And that's because, and I feel like because she had a couple, she had a lot of, and she had a lot of black or people of color on the show, that were in the industry. So, so I definitely can see
Thank
where you're
you.
coming from.
Like she
Because I
said, give
just
her her
because
flowers.
the fact
Give
that
her
she
her
had
flowers.
Kimberly and Kylie on like do several seasons is like it. Um, it's always been it. But yeah, sure.
Something that annoys me, like nowadays, though, jokes aside, and it really became prevalent. I said I went to college, like back in 2003, 2004. Like the whole, like there's always been that, mass for mass type deal, right? But it's like it gets so boring. Everybody, like I have people that have told me before straight to my face, you ain't really my type, and I wouldn't really even talk to you, but you masculine, so I'm gonna give you a chance. I'm like, bitch, that's an insult. I don't want you. Like the only reason you want to talk to me is because I'm quote unquote masculine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That
People are obsessed with being straight adjacent. It's people it's men who didn't necessarily come out and say it. It might have been some that come out and said it, and I just forgot because they didn't matter. But it's men who haven't necessarily come out and say it, but it's men who I know that I'm not their type physically, but they'll try and get my attention, or they have some attraction toward me because I passed, because I'm one of the cunty girls.
Mhm.
And it's like child, it's like, girl, honey, you clout, bitch. They know me from TikTok, bitch.
Not you, Clark. I'm screaming. No,
I just
I
find
just
it
feel
weird.
like I don't. But it's probably because I've always, even from gay babyhood, I've always kind of fit into a box. So I've either, so I've never like dating. The only thing that I've ever had an issue with dating was because I was so feminine. Um, and I just be like, girl, you can go to hell.
And for
Um,
me, and for me, it was I one of the biggest things that I deal with, and I know I'm not the only trans woman who deals with it, but it was a complete. I was one of the girls that it was a 360. As a boy, I wasn't desirable, but as soon as I put on a wig, it was like every nigga was checking.
and which is also why I feel like I've also flocked to bigger men because they love them a baby girl. I don't know. It's not too many fat niggas that I don't know that don't love them a baby girl. I just do. I just be like,
And see, that's the thing. That's the thing for me. Like I was rejected for a long time. I've always been into big dudes. I've always been into big people in general, and I was even rejected by them. And I know it wasn't, looking back, it wasn't just because I was fat and I was femme. It was also because I wasn't comfortable in being fat and being femme, because there are big boys who will cause me to damn near hit somebody's car when I'm driving. Where I didn't notice them, and I'm like, where is he going? Who is he? And then there's fat niggas that I see, and I be like, damn, he probably don't even know that he could be cute if he knew he was cute.
true.
I always used to get like a lot of flack because I've always been open to I go by the vibe of a person if we click or not. So me being like I say that from what I'm told, quote unquote masculine, I've always been okay with a more feminine individual. It never bothered me. Like so, as far as going out on dates and being in the public and holding hands, kissing, hugging, whatever, I've never been the person to really shy away from it per se, except for that one time. Harry, I told y'all that story about when I was dating the
You
just
got broke
the
up with.
yeah, I got broke up with bad right there in the restaurant. And I tried to fix it. I tried. I was like, wait, I'll do it. But I was just really coming out right then and I wasn't ready, I guess. And he was not having it. He was like, no, you don't get a do over. You had your shot. I'm gone. I was like, motherfucker. But I've always found it insane how, like, what I'm saying, the other fellas, they'll be like, why you always give people a chance and they so damn soft. Like, you don't care if they wear nails, makeup, hair, da, da, da. I'm like, why should I give a damn? If I like them, I like them.
It's funny because it's funny because when I was coming up, and it's many factors into that, but when I was coming up, on a rare occasion that it took me so long to have sex and be in a relationship because it took me so long to find somebody who wanted me as a boy. Um,
Mhm.
and crazy enough, when I did find somebody who wanted me as a boy, I was becoming a girl damn near the next day.
And it's hard though because like okay, I'm dating Xavier now, but even before me and him got together, I met a couple of individuals and like they were so on guard and then like how did you say it, Harry? They've been feeling like they were fetishized so many times. So like me being genuinely interested and I'm just coming to them, hey, I want to take you to dinner. I want to take you to the movies. Let's go do this. Let's go to the park. And they look at me and they like, nah, something ain't right about this. I'm like, yes, it is. I like you. Like, what? That's all it is. I genuinely like you.
Where does your partner now fall on the spectrum? Because I've never seen your partner.
Uh, I
Is
don't
he
know.
them or
Um, I guess if I
That's a young
face
man.
value, I'm
That's
gonna
a
say
young man.
you answer Harry because I don't know.
I'm just saying, that's a young man. I'm just being honest.
I mean,
I
he's
thought Don.
like for me, like he to face value to people masculine, but I guess because I see that softer, more vulnerable side of him, so I put him in between. He like right there in the middle.
Hmm. Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. Do Dante gave his opinion on PZA. I am not a PZA girl. I feel, and this probably some based on some insecurities and some rejections I felt as a boy. But I'm not a PDA girl. Even if we pass for a straight couple in public, I'm not. I'm just not comfortable with it. How do you feel, Harry? Are you a PDA
You
girl?
can't come over here if you're not trying to hold my hand and kiss on me. Sorry. I
Holding
really am.
holding hands is fine. It is
I know
the
you gotta be no. Like I'm like I love a nigga on my body. Like what? Okay. Yeah, no, you can't. You not. Yeah. I don't like nobody. If you because for me, it's a matter of safety for me. So because in a lot of places, especially because I've had a boyfriend literally like have to like look people in their eye because like people stare at me, people give me dirty looks all the time, and I don't pay attention to it because I've been getting it for so long, right? But I've literally had a boyfriend have to come up behind me and look somebody dead in their face. Like I didn't know what was going on because I'm just existing, right? Like I'm just existing, but I literally like he literally like made sure he was like on me because he was like, I don't like the way people
They
give you
looking.
the looks, and he was like, and you don't be noticing it, and I was like, well, sometimes I do, but I just like what I'm gonna do, like what am I gonna do? And there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do, in regards to it. Black women hate to see me out. A lot of times, especially if I'm like and not all black women, I shouldn't say that's not fair. Um, but I have gotten some of, the nastiest looks, especially they see me with a black man. A black man that they thought was not gay, and they be like, mm.
We just went
I've
through
had,
that.
yeah, and I be like, oh girl,
This
I'm
girl
sorry.
that worked, what
I
this
didn't
young
know.
lady tried to fight
I didn't know.
Xavier work because of that.
Did I infringe on your space? Did I infringe on your comfortability? I'm sorry.
You
Um,
tried to fight Xavier, dog.
Yeah, she like because I just sent her some edible arrangements and a dozen roses to work one day, and so I sent the customer service or whatever had delivered. He called me and he was on the phone with me, and he was like, the chick got so upset because he had the flowers and stuff delivered, and I'm sitting like upset because of you got a gift. What kind of shit is that? And then he say that she made the statement of, nah, cause I don't understand. Like you got a man sending you this, sending you that. I'm like, well, baby, get you a better man. Like,
but yeah, so for me, it's just a matter of you have to be. And which is why I always say I could never date a man that is just into into films. Like you have to be openly with the shit. Cause I just can't. I can't do it. I just be like, I can't do it. I can't do it. You gotta be. I love me a butch queen. Uh,
Did so
uh,
with you identifying as trans femme and accepting the non-binary, um, you don't get as much flack for it, but I do.
no,
I get flack for saying that I love me a butch queen. I get flack for preferring to date butch queens. I get flack for dating feminine guys. I get flack for dating other trans girls. I get and
but
it's
you're paying. I'm Andrew, so like my
thank you,
I,
Trinice.
my my attraction is limited to somebody that look like a boy.
okay.
Like
I'm gonna stick the butch queens, right? But with me being a binary trans woman, now mind you, gender and sexuality are supposed to be two different things, right? They are two different things, but I say supposed to be because a lot of girls preach that they're two different things, right? But a lot of people don't live what they preach. Because a motherfucker can be binary trans, can be me, for example. Cunt is all outdoors just naturally. When I wanted to look like a boy, I couldn't. It didn't work. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
So for me,
I seen your boy picture. It wasn't bad. You had a little goatee.
I said, look,
I was like, okay, Bree was scared. I was like, everybody gave Bree a
girl,
booty. Like,
if you seen the full shots, like it's two boy pictures of me that's out. One of them is cropped so that you can only really see my face, because if you seen the whole outfit, I was wearing a mix of boys and girls clothes. um and the other one, is my hair was down because I didn't I couldn't grow facial hair at that time, and if you saw my full face, it literally looks the same as my face does now without makeup.
oh wow.
so the question is
This
being asked, what is andro? Because I don't know either.
so
Attract to people who present masculine.
right. So I've dated cis men, trans men, um, studs. You know.
So you're attracted to masculine. Is that
Yeah, but I
okay?
never said.
I'm just trying to make sure I understand. That's all.
um,
But the point that I was trying to make is that
but I also will date a femboy, so that's also.
with
But that's because
with me being femme,
that's
they don't
because she's
they don't
versatile.
want me to do that. They don't want me to be with to be with gay men. And I think, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I can't hold this thought no longer. I'm gonna forget. Um, but I think with a lot of girls it is because there's other trans women who really don't advocate for me dating men who identify as bi. Like if you identify as straight, I'm not interested. Um,
Right.
and it's a lot of girls that get on me about that because it's a lot of girls who consider themselves hetero trans. I'm not hetero trans, girl. That's all I wanted to say.
And like being trans attracted is not like being trans attracted is cool, but like sometimes I also think being trans attracted, like some men that are trans attracted and they're exclusively trans attracted, and I be having a look because I be like, it's not giving genuine or it's giving a little fetishy. Um, what do you mean by you won't date a guy who's into femme guys? I never said I wasn't gonna date a guy who's into femme guys. I have dated many men that are into femme guys. I've also dated many men that are exclusively gynosexual, which is they date whoever looks like a girl. If it's coming femme they way, they like it. What I meant was is essentially what Bre was saying. I'm not dating nobody that's claiming they're straight, because the energy is different, and it's not for me.
Hmm.
Um, because a lot of times, especially with men that identify as straight but date trans women, um, one or two things is going to happen. They're expecting you to either get all of the surgeries and all of the things, or they're expecting you to get all of the surgeries and then keep one thing. Um, so yeah,
That's true. That's I didn't uh, think of that or consider that because me, even in being a baby trans, before any real medical intervention or anything, it was I did come across guys and I did talk to guys and I did date guys who was expecting more, who was expecting me to get more, who was expecting me to become more femme presenting. But for me, it was never looked at as a bad thing because that was the goal for me too. So I didn't think of it from a trans femme perspective and how that could be biased. But I honestly think that even in those cases when there are men who have been attracted to us when we look androgynous, they're genuinely sexually attracted to androgyny. They genuinely
hmm
could be with us and be satisfied sexually based off of the way that we look. However, societally, and how they live their lives, it's a lot of queers, especially queer men, that just so obsessed with their partner passing. They want somebody who
right.
passes, whether you pass as a man or a woman.
And they want you to pass. They want you to pass in the street and then be like, "Yo, bitch," in the bedroom, and I'd be like, "Sir, please leave me alone." Um, so I. Shut up, um, and like I don't have, and like the thing about it is, if I really chose to like really get rid of my facial hair, I could probably pass. I probably could pass. And if I kept my hair long, if I decided to keep my hair long and I decided to cut off my facial hair and like seriously like do the things, I probably could pass
When it
without.
when it comes to passing, ain't even all that because I'm
No, and I don't have any desire to. I have no desire to like pass
I'm
all the
talking
time.
talking about attracting men. Like it to me, it seems like with when I notice with the girls, it seems like for the girls, especially the girls who are androsexual or the girls who are strictly into cis men, it seems to be harder for them to date the more they pass. It seems like the more androgynous you are, the more likely you are to attract a man who's comfortable with the idea of being in a queer relationship.
Uh, I always say, and I agree with that, but I agree with that because the more you pass, the more detrimental it is if somebody finds out your tea, right? Like, You know, it's like, oh, Cassandra used to be a man.
Hiding the candy.
um, and it's like, what? No, she couldn't have been. Um, but yeah, I don't, and it's not even that. I think that be what it be, because like they've gotten in relationships with cis straight men, or just cis men in general, and it's like, wait, so what did this used to be? How did this used to be? And this is kind of like, child, y'all are dragging it. Um, so I don't I don't have no dog in that fight, but I do be understanding the why, especially trans women, be so mad at non-binary people because I watched the video not too long ago and I was like, girl, if confusion was a video, um,
You mean
Damn.
who was confused? What was they confused
like
about?
it wasn't even that they was confused. It was just one of those. It was one of those. I don't really care what you call me because I'ma be me. And it was just kind of like, okay, but like we're trying to, and it's not necessarily that you have to have definitive pronouns, right? I don't think that people should have to have definitive pronouns, but I feel like in space where you have made it known that I am non-binary, my preferred pronouns are they, them. Please stick to your guns. Don't be sitting up here talking about, well, I just feel like because my energy, and so if that's what you see today, that's what you see today, and but I know me, and so
Tell
I'm gonna let you just misgender me, but I
so,
know me, and it's just like, girl, what? Like, please shut up. Like,
so telling me that the non-binary people was confused.
child, I'm gonna send you the video, baby, because I'm gonna send you the video, because I was just like, girl, this is a lot.
No,
This is.
I'm not gonna, it's not my ministry, it's not my place to speak on it. I think I talk about the non-binary community enough and they hate me for it. But I will say that there are times that I have seen narratives being put out by non-binary individuals, and I could understand how
It
cis-
be these girls. It's always these girls. It's never the black ones. It's never the black ones. Now it do be some black ones sometimes, right? But I also be like the black ones that be talking like these ones. They don't even be liking us like that for real. So I
uh-huh.
just be like,
It definitely be the Caucasian adjacent girls.
right. Um, or the ones that's not from, they not black Americans. I be like, girl, they're not even from here.
Like,
Like,
your opinions don't even matter. Like, girl, you never even came out the house in a fishnet style.
right.
Bitch.
Um, Like you never, girl, you ain't never been to the ball. You ain't never been down to the function. Please shut up.
Like, girl, you look like one of the bricks that broke down Berlin Wall, bitch.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my God.
Not you like one of the brick the brother. I'm
I,
screaming. Please.
I think, it's a conversation that we're gonna have one day. And I know it's going to hurt some people's feelings in here, but I didn't hint it around to it before. It is a honey baby, if you don't go out in the world and present and is seen as queer and you identify as trans, you can still identify as trans. I respect you as trans, but shut the fuck up, because you don't know what it's like for us who go out here in the world and actually experience this shit. Like, you're speaking about an experience that you don't live. Like,
Right.
yes, you may feel like you caged in the wrong body. Well, bitch, you and me ain't got the same experience. Because, bitch, I'm not caged in this body, honey. I let this thing loose as much as possible, and the cage door been the fuck open, baby. I
Right.
don't know what you're talking about, honey. No, like,
And
she.
and the thing
I
about it
didn't have.
is, I definitely like when the conversation came up about the white trans girl, and T.S. Madison was like, She was like, and Tia Edison was like, well, you just don't look. And I was like, oh shit. But I overstood
You
because I was like,
talk about American Kaylee because you know
yeah,
it's two Kayleys and they both look like John Goodman when he was younger.
A
mm.
man.
Anyway, so so
And then you had a
Tia,
serious look on your face, like,
cause she dead ass. That's the thing. She dead ass. But the thing
I
about it is, I, I overstood what T.S. Madison was saying because it's like, yeah, you can say you one of the girls. That's fine. But ma'am, you out here with a full beard. Please shut the fuck up. Like, girl, please. And
and
it wasn't
and for me it's beyond that because even if you got a full beard, but bitch, you up in the gills, bitch. You know you're not quite in the geese. You up in the gills,
right.
bitch, with your beard, girl. You still might have a point or two. But bitch, if you bearded, girl, your hairline look like the McDonald's arch, girl. You know, it's giving burlap sack, you know, it's
wow.
flannel, it's giving, you know,
Not
rose
flannel. Shut the fuck up.
it's giving Roseanne extra, you know,
Good God. I mean, for me, I always have, and it's so weird because I always have people, I guess because they comfortable talking to me or whatnot, but they always ask me stuff about the trans community and transition. I tell them, I'm shutting the hell up on that because I don't live that. I cannot speak about something I don't know. I don't know it. Hell, I just started learning the gay world thanks to Harry and them. So, I mean, how am I speak on something I have absolutely no clue? I'll be like, you can ask, well, certain people, I ask them, tell them they can ask Harry because Harry, you get up, you cut somebody out real quick. And most times I direct them, and only because I know Daniel, has a softer touch sometimes, and I'd be like, this is my TikTok friend, and he's very much more knowledgeable than me on this subject right here, so I'm gonna let one of them handle it. I ain't got it.
mm-hmm. That's how
Don't
you
give me
that Dylan Mulvaney ain't got no trans people on their team because ain't no motherfucking binary trans woman thinking about no motherfucking tuck. Bitch, that's something that a man who's getting in drag is thinking about. Bitch, should I or shouldn't I tuck? Maybe let me just the head.
Hmm?
because it's just like the conversation about, and the conversation about the tampons was weird to me. The conversation about the tuck was weird to me. The Budweiser campaign is weird to me.
That's so
Um,
weird.
and it's not so much that trans people don't drink Budweiser. It's just like, girl, like,
It's it's and see that's that y'all. It's
of
Budweiser.
all,
Don't it seem
of
like Roseanne?
all,
Don't you feel like Budweiser commercials came on when you watched Roseanne back in the day, Dante?
right? Like,
Yes.
if it was of
Yeah,
all,
it's
like, if you were gonna collaborate,
lumberjack.
I'm screaming.
Stop it.
If you was gonna do, if you were gonna collaborate with a liquor and it came out of a can, spiked, simply spiked, that would have been great for her.
Right.
Bitch
Like,
was better promoting Arita, bitch. She would have been better promoting St. Ives, bitch. Dante, you remember St. Ives,
I
bitch?
do.
right.
I remember that.
I'm sick. Not saying.
Harry, you a baby. Some of these
I know
things
what
you
St.
ain't.
Ives is. I have apricot scrub in my cabinet. Thank you.
If go outside untucked again, she needs to be advertising Still Reserve 2020. They need to lock her up.
Shut the fuck
I'm sick of
up.
you for the night, Bree.
I I can't I can't do jawline ass. I play it cute for the videos, but I'm not going hold back on the motherfucking
And
eye. Do her
it's
strong
always,
ass
because
bitch.
even
when I saw Chris
What the
Rock, and I'm
problem?
like, of all people, Chris Rock, and you sitting here putting up a video with an AR just blasting off and some Bud Light. Like, bro, are you serious right now?
You talk about Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Kid Rock is the untalented white version of Lil Wayne. And I say that because Kid Rock got about four strands of blonde hair left on his head, just like them four blonde dreads that Lil Wayne got. Um,
I'm not
Kid
doing this with you. I
Rock,
agree.
Kid Rock is clearly broke, and I'm gonna tell you how you know his ass is broke, bitch. Because if Kid Rock had any coins, he could still be, dirty and out there in the pig pen and the barn and all that. That's where they from. Um, that wouldn't be surprising for him to be a rich Caucasian man who, don't like to take baths and play in the mud. However, for him to be a celebrity Asian man and he still ain't got no hairline, bitch, whether it's girl, no lace, bitch, he ain't got no plug,
Not no lace. She got
girl.
lace.
Girl, John Travolta was known for her lace for a long time, bitch, honey. Kid Rock ain't trying no motherfucking lace. Girl, remember Steve Harvey used to do her week all them years too. Honey, Kid Rock ain't tried no motherfucking lace, honey. Kid Rock ain't tried no plugs. Bitch, he didn't try to get them to massage the follicles where he, bitch, Kid Rock didn't
Bree
get them
must be stopped. Bree
pussy.
must be stopped.
A lot of Caucasian men, especially the dirty white trash ones, they tend to grow like trails of hair. He didn't get none of the trails of hair transplanted to his forehead or nothing.
I can't.
I'm about to do this shit.
I cannot. I still, for me personally, I always tell people, I don't understand how you can be so angry at someone for something that does not affect you, your well being, your household. I do not understand where the anger comes from, especially, and I'm sorry, especially when it comes to my heterosexual black women. I don't understand the anger that I see all the time on this app from them when it comes to someone who is trans. I'm like,
Because
why are
you
you so
always
angry?
equate when you constantly equate your existence to your body, and you know that happens. That's why they're so angry. I always say that. I was like,
It's
you are consistently equating everything about you to simply what your basic bodily functions.
not just that. One of the biggest things that's even more superficial and even more real, especially for a lot of black straight women, they're already conditioned to believe that they're competing for men. So now you just add it to the competition, and not only are you adding to the competition, but you're bringing an unfair advantage to the competition because anything male or sign male at birth or attached to a penis is superior.
Mm, I just,
Yeah,
So
because it damn near broke my heart when Alice Walker was talking about she agreed with J.K. Rowling. I said, bitch, not Celia now. Um, I said, I said, Alice Walker, please. I was like, but I can see it, but it makes sense.
I said what I said. They condition to compete for these motherfucking men. They don't want to compete unfairly against people who are already superior to them genetically. That's how they've been conditioned. They've been conditioned to believe that, I said it in my most recent post, they conditioned to believe that a man is the most ultimate choice. So when a man is an option for another man, they feel like they can't fucking compete. And they've been taught and conditioned to compete for these fucking men.
mm, Mm.
That's my biggest takeaway. In queer friendly societies, they are also less patriarchal.
Right.
I don't think in a lot of queer friendly societies they've already had female presidents in, in modern day.
I mean, like I'm used to getting the weird looks or the dirty looks from, straight men. That's normal. I don't be caring about that. Like, we out on a date or at dinner or whatnot like that. But it's gotten to the point where the women, like, it's so many times we've been somewhere and be like, I can't even find me a man that'll take me out. I'm like, well, baby, I don't know what you want us to do here. We don't have no horse in that fight. You need to figure it out.
Like, baby, I don't.
There ain't no dog in that fight.
Is the thing is when I don't think that we as queer people talk enough openly about dating. Like it is so many people who are scared to come on my show now. So many people who are scared to come on the show, and it's because I think a lot, and even people who have come on the show just for me, just to support me, a lot of them, that has been the most uncomfortable conversation I've had with them, and I've talked to them online in front of people before. I think another factor is that us queer people don't talk openly enough about dating, or maybe when we do this, the cis and the straight people ain't checking for it. But yeah, I think under the impression that it's easier for us than it really is.
So I think a lot of times the reason we don't talk about dating is because we've missed kind of like that dating phase. I
Right.
think a lot of people, a lot of queer people, especially of a certain age, you know, we didn't
It's in
date
the
nobody.
closet.
We didn't date nobody because there wasn't nobody for us to date. So now we're all in our, mid 20s, mid to late 20s, just starting out, kind of really going on dates, kind of really like hanging out with, people we're attracted to, and we don't know what the
30s,
fuck to do. Uh,
30s.
Before I get off this live, y'all, I want y'all to do me a favor, and I want y'all to help me. I have started. I'm gonna let y'all in on the tea because in the next 24 hours it'll be posted to my YouTube anyway. I've started to interview ballroom legends,
Ooh.
oh
legends and
yeah,
icons.
I love that for you.
In person. The vibes are totally different in person. Of course, my first one was Denise, which is already posted on YouTube, but it wasn't in person, unfortunately, because we couldn't make it happen. But a couple have been in person. Tomorrow I am doing one in person, and I want y'all to help me come up with a couple of questions that you would ask a femme queen. Now, I'm not gonna give away who it is just yet, but I'll give you a hint. She is the biggest femme queen of ballroom who is alive and from my region, from the DMV, from Baltimore, DC area.
Nah, I don't really have a lot of knowledge
Yeah,
when it comes to
I don't know, man. I
ballroom.
have no idea. I'm not quite sure.
Don't she
Like
don't
I
But she
literally
vibes
been learning
well.
about ballroom by watching your posts on TikTok. Cause
okay.
I
I'm going to practice with another thing, and this is for the people in the chat too. If you could ask a trans icon anything, what would it be? And she don't just want to talk about ballroom. I already had ballroom questions prepped anyway, but she don't just want to talk about Jasmine knows who it is. She don't want to just talk about ballroom. She wants to talk about life.
I would
So
love to know her experience when it came to um say if she was dating someone who was closeted but still would be interested in her. Like how did she deal with that or
how
navigate it rather?
how does she navigate
Like
dating?
dating, like like do she give men a chance that consider themselves heterosexual or bisexual or things of that nature, or I'm just curious. I don't know if that's the right way to word it or
No, it's good. I'm trying to think how I could ask it.
How do you navigate? How would you or how have you navigated dating DLs or closeted men?
right.
Perfect.
Because from what I understand, it's so dangerous for a person that is trans, and when they do entertain those that are or consider themselves, heterosexual or straight or whatever, and it's like, you know,
Nah, for the BQs. Ah, yes.
I'm just saying, it just seems like it's such a dangerous thing to try and date for those that are trans.
It is, and it's crazy because it's a good question on so many levels. And one of the reasons it is such a good question is because she'll be able to answer it very. She'll be able to answer it in depth because and her perspective. She'll be comfortable asking it because it's so normalized for us. That is so commonly what we attract. We most commonly attract the DL boys. Um, and it's normalized to us because it just happens so often. So that is a very good question. Very good question. Can you think of anything? Somebody in the chat. Let me go back to it.
Black asks a really good question that I liked. If she could have changed her transgender journey, she experienced, how would she? I like that question.
Ah, I like that too.
I just kind of
Hey,
side note, but
Kevin.
I just really found out. I was doing some reading on an article, and I didn't know that if a person had reconstructive surgery like that, like a person is trans, that they could reverse the process.
Mm,
Um, it depends. What kind of reconstructive surgery? You mean like bottom surgery?
Yes, they were saying like they were doing. I was just reading it because it was an article with several individual who had reconstructive surgery, and I guess they changed their mind. About the process. So they went back and I forgot what the name of the procedure they
it's
had.
detransitioning
A
is what
D.
they call it.
I did they get a phalloplasty?
Yes.
Uh-huh. That is something. It's possible, but honey, once you start, and that's why I always advise people. I'm always going to advise people. It's something a lot of trans people disagree with me on. I'm always going to advise people to straight away and or wait for bottom surgery because I have seen, being a psychologist, I have seen it um so many times professionally and so many instances that I don't feel comfortable talking about it publicly. Some instances I can't talk about it publicly. Um, but I will say that more often than not, on both sides, bottom surgery becoming a regret long time.
Mm.
Or I don't know. We'll have to have the conversation. just just the girls, because baby, I just be like, girl, what's going on? Um,
Man,
but
I'm not trying to offend. I be curious. I be just trying to understand some things.
I'm reading these questions, some good questions. Jasmine, I got your question down about the shave from the Butch Queens. Um, okay, she on here talking about the else. Yeah, it can be embarrassing. It can be embarrassing. Robin says they have reverse sterilization too. Yeah, but once you start getting into those bottom surgeries, it can for me, it's about for me, it's about function. I don't, but I'm also one of those people who don't just want to have body parts for aesthetic reasons. I'm one of those people who, for a long time, I was a non-op trans girl. You know what I mean? I was fine as long as I could pass. Um, so yeah, I'm not. I'm
I,
I'm not. I like to get dolled up. I say that I like to get dolled up, but I'm not really one of the dolls. You know, we was having this conversation earlier, Harry, and I was saying I feel like an imposter when it comes to being a pretty girl because I know how to. I feel like I know how to put it on, but I'm more comfortable with taking it off. It feels like
I
drag.
don't know. Huh?
It feels like drag for me.
I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that. I don't know. Because I have a girlfriend that wants to get hers, but she has a lot of dysmorphia around her body parts. So she really like she a nurse, and baby, when I tell you she's saving up for that new coochie, she's saving up for that new coochie.
And that's
Um,
the thing. If the dysphoria is imminent and severe, you're going to do whatever you need to do to get it done. I'm definitely not trying to talk out girls who experience bottom dysphoria, but I have come across it being very common for people who are on the fence, people who have conflict with their genitals, but it's not 100% dysphoria. You know, for example, there was a girl who came to me who regretted getting her bottom surgery, and one of her regrets is that she said that over time she realized that she was doing it from a societal perspective. She didn't really hate her penis that much. She was saying that society, made her feel like she had to go through with it in order to really be trans, in order to really be
and
accepted.
sometimes I do.
Huh?
Sometimes I have questions. I'll be like, girl, cause she like to date cis men. She like to date cis hetero men. And so I was like, are you sure it's not cause, you been dating these niggas? Okay. She be like, no, I really don't. She's like, I don't like it to be touched. I don't like it, really kind of one of those things. I'm just like, okay. Look, I just want you to be happy, girl. I want you to be out here just
Is
taking
that a
stuff off.
thing though, where they do it just because they are attracted to straight men, and they do it, because of that?
It is some girls who like I said, it's been ultimately not, and I don't just want to make this a girl thing because there have been majority trans men I've had this conversation with, honestly. Um just because I've dated more trans men, and I have had this conversation professionally as well, because I used to work at an LGBTQ clinic. Um but most of the time I've had this conversation with trans men who have regretted it. They felt like they did it for society. They felt like they did it for partners. They felt like they did it for a sense of brotherhood, because there is little sub communities within the trans community of people who do have bottom surgery. And yeah, it's a lot of, like I said, more often than not I've come across a lot of people who secretly regret it. I've even come across people who speak about it highly in public but secretly regret it. Like, I had somebody I was dating regretted their bottom surgery, and the only reason it was revealed to me was because I was sexual with them, and it was certain things that they wanted to do sexually, and me being me, I'm asking questions, I'm digging, like, well, if you enjoy this sexually, why did you get bottom surgery? I'm just curious, I'm not judging. And then that's when people start to reveal regrets.
Um, me and Alice is cool, okay? That's
Alice.
because I call her Alice, and the booty cat is the Wonderland. Alice the Wonderland.
Okay.
But I don't know. I've never had. I don't have a dog in that fight because I'm still I'm still going back and forth with wanting to microdose. So,
Ah, I'm sorry, sis. I don't mean
so
to laugh. It's just y'all know that for me, humor is a coping mechanism.
oh, you good? That's fine.
And sis, it's fun. You just remind me of a younger me so much, and it's just funny to me because it's like, girl. I remember it, even the older girls used to laugh at me too. And it's just like it's it's funny to watch when you've been through something that not a lot of other people have been through. And I've been through this. I've had the questions and you know, and I was androgynous presenting, and for a long time for me I went back and forth. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day for me, the question, like I honestly don't know what I would do today. I don't know if I was to be born when you were born, if I was to be born in the 2000s, I don't know what my choice, what my
I
decision.
was born in '93. I ain't that young. I was born in '93.
I was talking to the kids too. The
Oh,
kids.
okay. I was like, damn, I ain't that young. No, I know.
What I would do, because at the end of the day, for me, the ultimate decision and making the step to be a binary trans woman was just safety. And you got to keep in mind, lived in Baltimore most of my life. So it's a lot of factors. I was poor, I was homeless at one point. You know what I mean? Uh,
Mm.
and I grew up in the '90s and the early 2000s. So it was a different time. It was a lot of factors. Today I don't know what I would do, because like I said, I deal with the imposter syndrome. And it's
Yeah.
definitely because in a lot of ways I feel more non-binary. I feel like a drag queen sometimes, you know.
I always say, because I can't, I definitely don't feel comfortable doing it here while I'm here still, because I live in Florida. So I definitely don't feel really comfortable doing it here while I'm still here. If I either end up going back home or end up going to California, because Daniel is trying his damnedest to get me to come to California. Which I did live in California. I lived in California for a year. I lived in LA for a year, and I loved it. It was just too expensive. But child, we shall see.
I mean,
Um,
it's a lot of factors away. It's too much to even begin the conversation here, but all I can say is it became a safety thing, because for me, it's regardless of how queer I feel. Oh, because overall I'm queer. That's
right.
just identify. I just I don't fit in the boxes, right? Um, but in me getting, getting surge and getting shit changed legally and all of the things, um, it was ultimately just the thing that I realized over time, that regardless of how I perceive myself, the world was seeing a woman. And it was even when I'm out of drags, even when I come on here and I make my videos, and I honestly came here in my head, I felt like everybody was going to perceive me as a butch queen. And then when I realized that people thought that I was the kind, I was like, oh shit.
I can't lie. When I first saw you, I thought you were I was like, oh, she pretty. Like I
Like,
just,
bro, you look like. I mean, like even when you look like you look like you look like your homegirl. You look like my homegirl. Like
I
you're a pretty girl. You
I get
Right.
like, especially when you're not, you have a very natural beauty about yourself. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
I'm start
Jasmine,
it's starting
butterfly.
to
Um, I
what happened?
hold on. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yep.
Okay. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What happened?
Who got the echo? Me or Harry?
I don't know. Harry disappeared.
I'm gonna cut. She probably cut a. She probably disconnect. She go reconnect. She had an echo, I believe. Um, but yeah, I'm sorry. My camera only off because I'm driving. That's all. I'm on my way to the house. I'm gonna cut it on.
Um, but that's
Hey,
the best I
hey.
can here. Okay.
Uh-oh.
No, you good. But you said you became Jasmine in Key West, Florida, and
Yes.
I love that. I love that. But with all of the bills and they cutting, they're cutting medications for trans people. Even I have certain medications because I take prep and things, and they're cutting those out of even my what they're gonna cover. Just based on the bills they
One
have
second,
passing. So
baby.
I'm just like, I don't necessarily know if I want to be here. If I do make that choice, I do not want to be in Florida when I make it. they gonna try to they gonna try to put it because I just feel like it's gonna turn into, especially with the way politics are going, I feel like it's gonna turn into rounding the girls up and putting them somewhere, and I can't.
I
Mm-mm.
feel like it's going to turn to Gilead. I keep telling y'all it's going to turn to Gilead. Not long after that, bitch, it's going to be the capital of for the Hunger Games. Um, I'm telling y'all my plan consistently, putting it out in the universe consistently. I'm going to Cape Verde. Hmm. Hmm. But yes. Yeah, honey. I got my questions, honey. I done borrowed my questions from y'all. I appreciate y'all, honey. Hey,
So
what's
did you
up?
say my question about like once the girls transition or once they have full surgery, why do we still have to walk them queen?
I'm a ask her about that too. I'm gonna ask her opinion on that too. And I might give my own. It depends. It depends on how talkative she is. Cause honey,
Okay.
if she starts spilling all the teas, honey, I ain't going to I ain't going
If
to
she
interject.
brings up dead bodies and things, it's just
Sit back and prop my boobs up and smile at the camera, honey. That's fine.
I'm screaming.
Yes, I have definitely learned to just let the girls talk, honey, and whatever happens, I can edit it later.
right.
Hmm.
Sounds like a plan.
It is. I'm excited. I'm excited. But I'm gonna let y'all go. Thank y'all for hanging out with
Good
me.
night.
I'll
Thank you
probably
for having me.
I'll pop stop playing, boy. I'll pop be dipping.
Y'all wish me happy birthday.
Happy
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 birthday.
birthday. How old
End game. We love that for
Country, you can
you.
sing to me.
Who? Sing what? Who's singing? Wait a minute. Y'all be
happy
trying to give me talents I wasn't born with. Let me get drunk first.
Thank y'all and good night.
Good night, baby.
birthday.